Now, Marianne Williamson is proposing substance, and neoliberals would rather run on symbolism only. And it's not just Marianne. We saw what they did to me when I ran for Congress and what they have done to other progressives when they step out there. These neoliberals, they come harder at progressives than they do at Republicans. What they did to Senator Sanders in both election cycles, what they do to progressives as a whole, they want to diss and dismiss. But guess what? Marianne Williamson will not be dismissed. She is here to say she was on the show towards the end of last year and spoke directly to the lack of substance, the lack of real conversation, the lack of real vision. Take a look at this.
When it comes to our politics, we're not used to having deep, real conversations. I think when it comes to our personal relationships, the American has deep, real conversations as much as anyone else in the world. But we have all been trained when it comes to our collective issues, our political issues, to think like a bunch of seventh graders. We might tell the truth, but not the whole truth, not nothing but the truth. We don't get deep, we don't get real, we don't get direct, and we don't get blunt.
No, we do not, Marianne. And I hate to say it, but I think maybe the seventh graders are insulted by that, because they definitely think a lot deeper than some of these politicians who are controlled by their puppet masters. That is what is happening. Jackson, I'm glad that Marianne Williamson is in this primary, and even Senator Joe Manchin is rumored to say, not rumored, he has said he ain't made up his mind, he might be jumping in too. I often say the more the merrier. Come on in, the water's fine. This is where we need to debate the ideas so that the American people have a choice, both in the Democratic primary and the Republican primary.
Absolutely, I'm glad that Marianne Williamson is in the race as well. And just the response that press conference was really unnecessary, because the reality is that incumbents are always in the strongest position, and that there's not going to be a ton of new faces until 2028. That's just what it is. It's always like that. And the reason I bring that up is because anybody in the race really can do nothing but push forward better ideas for the Biden administration to carry out. It's not as if Marianne Williamson, especially at this point, is really in a position to take out an incumbent president, especially one who isn't currently hated by the entire country. So it would have been much better for them to embrace her campaign and also to be willing to work with her no matter what the outcome may be. But just shunning it like that makes them look weak. And it also makes them look like they don't really have any plans, which they kind of don't.
They don't.
So that's exactly. They don't.
And it makes them look petty too. My stunt double tweeted out that this is beneath the office, and it really is. She did not have to go there. Marianne was so ridiculed when she ran in 2020. A lot of people didn't understand her. They made fun of the profession that she's in, which is an awesome profession to be in, to help lift people's spirits. This woman is an accomplished woman. She's an accomplished author, et cetera, et cetera. But why we got to run through her resume when most men just wake up and say, hell, we running for president? They ain't got to have credentials the first, second, third, fourth, or fifth. And this is not about Marianne Williamson being a woman for me. This is about being her being somebody that is going to stand up against the status quo and will not be owned. This is what this is about. Somebody that believes in Medicare for all, that believes that black folks deserve reparations in this country, that believe that the workaday people of this nation deserve better than what they're getting. And I can go on and on. This is what this is about. It's about her substance, not her identity, her substance. And the White House should get a clue. They need to apologize to her for doing that. But they scared, because if they weren't, oh no, they thinking about it. They shaking in their boots right now, because if they weren't, they wouldn't have did that to her. But anyway, we going on to other things. We're gonna keep up with Marianne Williamson and anybody else that jumps in the race. As I said, this is a republic, and people should have the opportunity to weigh in whenever they want to weigh in. They ain't gotta ask for nobody's permission.